the craziest thing I've ever seen in football is Holland were 2 down against Argentina in the last World Cup, whenever it was, middle of the season.
Yeah.
Weghorst.
They put on Weghorst and another centre forward. They got 2 goals, right? They couldn't cope with it. And then they changed once they got level.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you doing? Carry on and do it, because it was working and they couldn't handle it. But, you know, at the end of the day, my team came back and they knew it, right? Because I said this might be one chance we get and we need the points in this season. We're not going to keep, and I would love to have just played and carried on and keep playing, but we need to put that ball in the box to give us a chance to realistically put them under pressure, because the football you should play should hurt their back line, whatever it's made of. Is it 5? Is it 4? Is it 2? However it is, they need to work harder than anyone else.
Yeah.
And if you watch today's football, I'm sorry, they stroll around with a big cigar on because everybody's passing it square and sideways, unless you pay the real good ones. Because they, when you win it off of them, they win it straight back off of you, and they don't give you any time, do they? Right? And that's what people don't get. Pep is all about strangling you and then dominating you and then strangling you again. He don't give you any air whatsoever. And it's all about winning the ball back and being great. And if you're as good as he wants you to be, but you don't put value on winning the ball back, he'll get rid of you. Look at Cancelo last year.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, no one's mentioned it. They kicked him out when he's the fullback of the year. Why? Because your attitude ain't good enough, son. How brilliant's that?
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah,
and Pep's strong enough to do it, because at the end of the day, it's all about the values that you have, right? And Bernardo Silva said we had enough. We're in a crisis. They lost 2 games in a row last week. Started laughing, but he went, we had a few dodgy spells last year, but this is what tests us. We keep coming back. And why? If you saw, there's a YouTube thing with Pep telling one of his players, how dare you do what you've just done? You don't want the ball. You haven't made an angle. How dare you? I give you permission to give it away.
Bayern, wasn't it? I think
I give you permission to give it away. I give you permission to lose the ball. I give you permission, but I don't give you permission to not want the ball. Because you are not, how dare you? I hate it when you don't want the ball. You have to want the ball all times. There is no pressure from me for you to get it wrong. But how dare you not want the ball? How dare you not help your teammate? Because at the end of the day, they're only that good because they're constantly outthinking the opposition. Yeah. And their leader is leading them to do that. It's absolutely incredible. And all the best ones did that. All the best ones.
This clip from Pitchside is brought to you by our friends at Super 6. Super 6 is back after the international break, and that massive 250 grand jackpot is still there to be won. You can enter now, so get your scores selected. We've all been playing Super 6 this season, and there's no reason why you shouldn't join us. It's a free shot at £250,000. As I said, what's not to love? Get over to the app, simply predict your 6 scores, and that jackpot could be yours. You can also compete against myself, Theo, and Tom in the official Pitchside mini league using the code PTCH23. To join it, we'll be giving away a £100 classic football shirts voucher to the person that comes top of the leaderboard this weekend. Once you're in, as I say, it's so easy to play. Just predict your 6 scores, enter your golden goal, hit submit, and you are all set. A free shot at £250,000. So follow the link in the description to sign up now. There's so many more chances to win the jackpot over and over and over again, and a classic football shirts voucher on top of that if you finish first in our league. Remember, it's a free shot at £250,000. You may as well get involved. Follow the link in the description to sign up now.
Even in the time when I'm looking at Brian Clough and watching him, all those leaders at that time, you knew who they were. You knew they were the boss. Oh my God, you were scared to get that wrong. It's so different now.
Yeah.
It really is, you know. So good luck to all these young ones. You know, seriously, good luck to you, because if you're not successful in the first season, you ain't going to get the second season. Yeah. And how wrong is that? Yeah. Fergie, we wouldn't have seen Fergie.
No, that's right.
That's slow started, yeah.
They gave him time in it.
4 years.
Ended up being the greatest decision ever.
And he come like 11. They were definitely going to sack him at one point, weren't they? Yeah,
well, I got to be honest. The fella who scored him the winning goal in that final, that was his first trophy, was Lee Martin. I had him at Bristol Rovers. He had to retire. So I phoned Sir Alec and he went, yeah, I'll bring a side down to play him. Absolutely no problem. He kept me in the job. That's what his words were.
Jesus.
Nice.
And they were playing at Wembley the day after. He brought Beckham, Scholes down, and he looked at Jamie Cure and he went, you're that little bugger who turned us down when you were 11. on my life.
Really?
Because everybody wanted Jamie Curran when it was 10 or 11. Unbelievable. Jamie scored 2 that day. We drew 2-2. Right? Absolutely amazing. The bloke's amazing, honestly. And they are, people don't realise what it takes out of you and how intense you have to be. So I have been so privileged to see so many different styles, so many different types, and yet they've all, I mean, even Fergie, what's he got, a 60% win rate? So 40% of the time, he was still losing or drawing. So what I'm saying, the bloke's still a genius. This game just eats you up, spits you out. And the young ones, that's why I did this documentary. I want them to get more time from people who support the clubs and realise how hard it is. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah. How do you see, bringing it to this season's Premier League, how do you see this season panning out? Because obviously Spurs, no Harry Kane, but seem to have got better. Arsenal are almost as good as last year and pushing all the way. How do you see this season panning out?
And you said City are in crisis after 2 losses.
I think City are always going to be the one to chase, providing Pep's there.
Yeah.
Whoever tries to follow him,
tough job.
You know what I mean? You can't dance in them shoes, can you? I'm sorry, and whoever's tried to follow Sir Alec has had it so tough,
Same with
They never gave Moisey enough time. They never.
Oh yeah,
that really hurts me. Dave's a great friend of mine. I'm delighted what he did for West Ham last year, but even West Ham fans halfway through the season.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Now look at them, they're flying as well.
It's a crazy, honestly, it's like managing chaos. That's, really the hot seat should have been called managing chaos because for me, that's how it felt,
But from the sounds of things, it sounds like it's always been that. Like even now, it's just a different kind of chaos.
I think it's worse now.
Really?
Yeah.
Because of the media.
Not maybe the media, but that's what someone you want. You want people to have views, don't you? They used to talk about you going down a pub, but now it's all over the place, isn't it? So but again, it's don't listen to it. There's no point. It's not going to affect you. You got to do what you do, but there's no balance. You don't see the real us.
Yeah.
Right. In my documentary, I think you do, and I'm really pleased with it, and it made me feel a lot better about myself. Does that sound right?
No, that's right.
Made me feel a lot better about
because it made you realise, I'm not the only crazy
Tigger.
Yeah.
I am not.
We're all the same.
Tops made out of rubber, bottoms made out of spring. I am. There's other people like me, and I respect them so much now, so much more now. Do you get what I mean?
Yep.
And I wish them all the best because you cannot change something as quickly as you're supposed to do these days. It's almost impossible.
Yeah.
And the best thing I can give you is if you look at Leicester, they went down, they came back up under Nigel Pearson, then they got rid of Nigel Pearson, all the scouting that they did, the people that they brought, and they give it to Ranieri. He wins the title. No, he wins the title. And then 2 months into the next season, he's sacked as well.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
right.
Ridiculous.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then the Craig Shakespeare, who took over and won the first 4 games, first English manager to do that. He won his first 4 Premier League games.
I didn't know that.
And I want to wish him all the very best. He's just been diagnosed with cancer. So all our loves with you, Craig. But it's madness. It's chaos. Absolutely chaos. Leicester win the FA Cup and then he's on his way as well.
Yeah.
Brendan's on his way. So it's just mental. But they lost one of the best leaders you'll ever find there. Their chairman,
Yeah.
So